now witness a cycle in which waste generates saving and sustainability. It leaves the house and it's taken to processing centers. There, it becomes raw material for the production of briquettes, which may be either gasified or transformed and used as building material. At the end of the cycle, it returns home, for example, back to your car tank in the form of fuel. Picture a family home in any city in Brazil. Our example will take place in Sorocaba, countryside of São Paulo. This family needs to purchase food, eat it, and discard its waste. People generate food waste, packing waste, and other leftovers every day. Everything is stored and usually taken to streets and sidewalks. There, it's collected by trucks that take different roads and go door to door to pick up the waste of the entire neighborhood. But these trucks can also carry the waste to processing centers. Such centers are located in several cities, such as Sorocaba and 35 other neighboring cities. Our raw material, the waste, is discarded in these processing centers. Recycling materials are set aside and, in an optimized process, are made into briquettes, which are small bricks or cylinders composed of completely reusable material. Here, the briquettes are stored so as to be eventually taken to processing plant. All of those small processing centers lead to a greater processing plant, and according to our example, that plant may be located in Votorantim, which is also in the countryside of São Paulo. Therefore, several small processing centers scattered around that area will always lead to a greater plant, in which the briquettes will be turned into other sub-products. Transportation of the briquettes from the processing center to the plant is carried out by trucks, which has its advantages. Liquid waste residues will no longer fall on the streets, and evaporation will not take place in trucks, which in turn will no longer pollute the air. Transportation will be less costly, once it can be carried out with ordinary trucks transporting much more material at once. That is because 35% of 1 ton of waste is turned into briquettes. 98% of the total waste volume is reduced. The so-called briquette has a humidity level which is smaller than 3%, and it's also odorless, and it does not generate dirt. The briquettes can immediately go through the gasification process, or they can be stored in order to be later taken to the plant. Placed in large tubes in the plant, the briquette can be turned into plywood, pallets, eco bricks, fences, materials for a deck, recyclable container, and you can even desire an entire house sustainably built with this material. The briquette can also go through a different process and be gasified by the Tcom system, and then turned into industrial energy or fuel for trucks and cars. That is an economical process in which waste is reused and may go back to being a part of a family's life.